In order to promote his latest album, Hi, former American Idol host Keith Urban will begin a US tour next month. September 2024 saw the release of the album. The singer's most recent #1 single is Go Home WU, a duet with Lainey Wilson. His bleeding injuries during a recent show grossed out the crowd. To learn what transpired, continue reading. Keith Urban was not an American Idol judge for very long. When the program debuted on Fox, he was a member of the judging panel. The country music artist only served as a judge for 4 seasons. He quit in 2016 and didn't come back when ABC revived the singing competition in 2018. In May 2023, he made his comeback to American Idol as a guest mentor for the season 21 finale. He served as a coach on the inaugural season of the Australian edition of The Voice in 2011 prior to appearing on the American reality show. In 2021 and 2022, he made a comeback to The Voice Australia as coach. Keith Urban is collaborating with another country music icon and former US coach for a new reality show's voice. He is the star of The Road with Blake Shelton, a brand new CBS reality show. The two will look for the newest musical craze. After 23 seasons, Blake Shelton departed The Voice in 2023. This fall, the duo's new program will debut. Keith Urban performed at Canada's Much Music Network prior to embarking on the High and Alive World Tour this summer. The network is MTV's Canadian equivalent. He spoke with the presenters for a long time before he took the stage, though, and one of them complimented the words of Urban's song, Blue Ain't Your Color. The singer responded that he loved the lyrics too, but that he didn't compose them. After talking with the hosts for a while, Keith Urban took the stage to perform a stripped-down acoustic version of Wasted Time. However, before he could do so, he had to explain to the audience why he had a bandage on his middle finger. He couldn't stop gushing over Chappell Roan's hit song, Pink Pony Club, saying that it was beautifully written and the lyrics were a perfect metaphor for finding a place where you belong. While narrating the incident, he unintentionally turned off the audience. Keith Urban claims that the injury occurred during a performance the previous evening. After somehow cutting his finger, he made it worse. He described the agonizing injury to the appalled crowd, saying, "As I pulled my finger up on a strumming stroke, the string went into the cut." In spite of his affliction, he performed a faultless rendition of the 2016 hit song. See the complete interview and performance of the former American Idol judge below. Greetings. Since its premiere in 2002, American Idol has launched the careers of innumerable musicians, exposing unadulterated talent, heartbreak, and the path to glory. Few reality television programs have had the same cultural effect and intrigue as this one. Keith Urban stands out among the judges who have appeared on the show not just for his music but also for his affable demeanor and helpful demeanor. But there was nothing that could have prepared viewers for what happened one fateful night, an event that would become part of American Idol history and even cause Keith Urban to lash out at his supporters. This seemingly startling act has a complicated backstory that illuminates the demands of celebrity, the relationship between performers and their fans, and the unintended effects of live broadcasting. This article examines the circumstances that led up to that notorious incident, looking at Keith Urban's career, the environment of American Idol, and the responses from both the media and fans. Keith Urban's ascent. Examining Keith Urban's life and career is crucial to comprehending the incident's importance. Urban, who was born in New Zealand and grew up in Australia, has always loved music. He started playing guitar at an early age and soon established himself in the country music scene before moving to Nashville in the late 1990s. Urban's distinctive fusion of pop, rock, and country music has distinguished him throughout the years and brought him several honors, such as the Grammy and ACM Awards. Urban had established himself as a well-respected artist in the business by the time he became a judge on American Idol in 2012. He was well known for mentoring up-and-coming musicians in addition to his amazing voice and guitar prowess. His kind manner and sincere criticism, which frequently struck a balance between harsh love and sincere support, won him admirers. The American Idol atmosphere. Millions of people watched American Idol every week during its height in the early 2000s. An unprecedented degree of viewer participation was brought about by the show's concept, which featured competitors competing for the title of next major superstar. Every season offered a fresh range of feelings, including excitement, sadness, joy, and debate. The judges played a vital part by serving as both the source of entertainment and critique. American Idol became a phenomenon that influenced the careers of several aspiring artists, including a blend of well-known celebrities and up-and-coming talent. Additionally, it developed a special bond between competitors and spectators, building a devoted following that frequently felt a sense of personal connection to the experiences of their favorite artists. Urban's genuineness struck a chord with viewers throughout his tenure on the show. He regularly showed sincere excitement and provided helpful critique, creating a supportive and encouraging environment. This added to the frightening nature of the occurrence that was about to happen. The events leading up to the flipping event. The event occurred during a live filming of American Idol, when there was a lot of pressure to perform in front of excited fans with cameras rolling. In addition to the judges, contestants were trying to win over the home audience, who could cast ballots. But the stakes increased as the battle got more fierce, creating a tense environment that had an impact on all parties. There was a noticeable emotional strain in the room on the night of the event. As a judge and a show enthusiast, Keith Urban found the experience to be more and more daunting. He had a strong interest in the competitors' performances and frequently gave them enthusiastic applause. But there was a deeper element that added to the evening's intensity, a sequence of incidents that resulted in annoyance. As the evening went on, Urban had disagreements with some of the audience members who were fervently and loudly expressing their views. Although constructive criticism was welcomed, the environment grew more antagonistic as some audience members started yelling disparaging remarks, interfering with the performances and unjustly focusing attention on the competitors. Known for his patience, Urban started to feel the pressure of the diversions from the audience, which made him more and more agitated. The moment of notoriety. One competitor in particular, a gifted young vocalist who had put their all into a performance, captured Urban's attention and affection as the performances went on. However, Urban saw an increase in his protective instinct when the participant was criticized by several audience members. He was aware of the difficulties and vulnerabilities involved with live performance. Urban briefly lost his temper when the participant made a very loud and offensive remark about the singer during their performance. To protect the performer on stage from the unjustified criticism, he instinctively turned to the audience and gave them the finger in what could only be characterized as a moment of frustration. After the incident was caught on tape, social media quickly erupted in responses. Supporters were split. While some said it was inappropriate for a public person and role model on one of the most popular television programs, others found it humorous and representative of Urban's intense devotion to the musicians. The direct repercussions. Urban became aware of the possible consequences of his gesture as soon as the event ended. Fans expressed concern, and rumors started to circulate on social media. Videos of the incident were extensively circulated, and the platform was inundated with diverse interpretations and viewpoints. Was this an epiphany, a peek inside the walls of notoriety, or a mistake in judgment implying that even the most amiable celebrities have their breaking point? Urban addressed the event on Twitter soon after the episode aired. He expressed regret that his fury had overcome him and apologized for the outburst in an open message. He underlined the value of showing respect and encouragement for the competitors, making it apparent that his conduct was an emotional reaction to a particular circumstance rather than a reflection of his opinions about the spectators in general. The view of the media. The news was swiftly picked up by the media. Keith Urban's outrageous gesture, and the flip heard around the world, were among the headlines. Commentators and critics examined the situation from all sides, talking about the emotional toll of live television and the demands made on both spectators and performers. According to several commentators, Urban's behavior was an indication of a more serious problem with the realities of celebrity. They emphasized how celebrities are expected to uphold a consistent level of decorum and frequently repress their feelings in order to preserve their public persona. Others applauded him for defending the competitors, seeing the event as an instance of genuineness in an otherwise inauthentic environment. As the debate grew more heated, Urban emerged as a central figure in broader discussions over mental health in the entertainment sector. His outburst sparked a larger discussion about the emotional ramifications of being in the spotlight and the demands placed on artists in live environments. Many admirers were moved by Urban's candor and valued his openness. Keith Urban's thoughts. Urban gave the encounter and its ramifications some thought in the weeks that followed. He explored the emotional difficulties faced by both judges and competitors in many interviews, highlighting the need of remaining empathetic even during tense situations. He also talked about the difficulties of serving as a judge on a high-stakes program such as American Idol. Urban understood that having potential frequently entails a great deal of strain, and that it was his responsibility to develop that skill while also keeping his own emotional stability. He underlined how crucial respect, empathy, and assistance are in the entertainment industry. He acknowledged that the experience had made him more aware of the fact that actors are often weak, battling their own anxieties and insecurities while trying to get respect and fame. Fan reactions. The community's division. Fans' reactions were diverse and overwhelming. Some supporters came together to support Urban, praising his courage to display unfiltered emotion. They discussed the demands of live performances and understood the necessity to shield a gifted performer from criticism. These admirers interpreted Urban's action as an act of support from a caring mentor who stood up for his talent. However, a few supporters expressed disappointment. They contended that Urban ought to have remained more composed as a public figure. His actions were criticized for drawing attention away from the competitors who had put in a great deal of effort to get to that point, as well as for the gesture itself. Discussions regarding prominent celebrities' obligations and the demands made of them by the industry and followers followed. A watershed in American Idol history. Following Urban's gesture, it became evident that the American Idol platform has sparked continuous conversations on the nature of celebrity and the raw moments that occur during live broadcasts. Both competitors and mentors became more conscious of the emotional screening process that is sometimes disregarded in the quest for achievement as a result of the experience. It seemed as though the tone of American Idol changed, however quietly, to one where contestants felt more free to express themselves and acknowledge the difficulties they had as well as the value of artist unity. Raw and unvarnished, Urban's moment of vulnerability created opportunities for further in-depth discussions on reality TV. It emphasized the notion that even celebrities, industry luminaries, face stress, annoyance, and the burden of public scrutiny. The event prompted American Idol to reevaluate its mentor-participant dynamics, which resulted in more targeted conversations on mental health awareness. The incident's legacy. As time went on, the notorious incident emerged as a significant chapter in both Keith Urban's artistic career and the story of American Idol. The criticism quickly subsided, and rather than continuing to be a stain on Urban's image, it served as a bridge between him and his fans. The flip-off event would serve as a constant reminder of the value of compassion in the face of hardship, the strength of live television, and the necessity of vulnerability. By letting his fans know that it's acceptable to feel upset among the craziness of life and work, Urban's candid thoughts after the event sparked a flurry of conversations about mental health awareness. The musical stage is back. Keith Urban returned to the musical stage after the event, rekindling his love of composing songs and performing. He created an atmosphere where he could express himself honestly via music and talked candidly about the therapeutic benefits of going back to his creative beginnings. He had been emancipated in many respects by the occurrence. It had allowed him to accept his unfiltered emotions in his creative process and released him from the limitations of public expectations. With a fresh outlook, Urban started writing songs that examined themes of adversity and resiliency, concentrating on the same feelings that had previously caused him to act rashly. His audience became closer to him as they interacted with his work more intimately, and music turned into his therapy. Conclusion: a humanity lesson. The moment Keith Urban turned on his supporters is still ingrained in the minds of American Idol followers. It acted as a reminder that even the most collected and gifted people may become erratic when they are in the spotlight. Urban's gesture went beyond the actual performance and sparked discussions on mental health, empathy, and the strains placed on both fans and musicians. Essentially, the event gave Keith Urban the opportunity to establish a stronger connection with his fans. It served as a reminder to both him and his admirers that, although facing their own difficulties in a sometimes harsh field, artists are still people. Urban developed as a person and as an artist throughout a frustrating period. His career took a significant turn after the Flip-Off episode, which brought to light the value of vulnerability, honesty, and understanding in a society that is becoming more and more preoccupied with appearances rather than truth. Artists like Keith Urban are a reminder that, in the end, it is the journey, with all its ups and downs, that really connects with audiences in a world where emotions may collide and creativity can thrive in the face of hardship. As a tribute to the intricacy of interpersonal relationships and the significant influence that music, and occasionally even a flip-off, can have on our lives, the memory of that notorious moment will live on in the hearts of American Idol fans for all time.